My name is Yi Fan. When others bind systems, it's to act cool. When I bind a system, it's to act like an idiot. The system's first mission, comb Master's hair. Failure penalty. Master will have bad luck for one day. Blushing, I had just approached when Master slapped me away. The very next day, Master walked into a door, choked on her tea, and suffered chi deviation during cultivation. What was even more ridiculous was the way she looked at me, as if I were a pervert. The story begins 3 days ago. That day, I was about to reach a new breakthrough. A golden light flashed, and a voice appeared in my head. Ding! Congratulations, host, for binding the sweet pampering master system. This system is dedicated to helping you win over your master and reach the pinnacle of life. I was stunned at that moment. Win over master? Who is my master? Liu Ruyan, the #1 beauty of Qingyun's sect, a grand elder of the nascent soul stage, and peerlessly cold and aloof. System, are you mistaken? This system never makes mistakes. Then tell me, how can I, trash at the chi refining stage, possibly pursue a master at the nascent soul stage? Precisely because the host is trash, you need this system's help. I fell silent. That logic seemed flawless, yet something still felt off. Issuing the first mission, comb Master's hair. Reward, cultivation level increase. Penalty, Master will have bad luck for one day. I looked at the mission, falling into deep thought. Help Master comb her hair? This sounds easy enough. But the problem is, how can I get close to Shurzuan? Mission time limit, 2 hours. I took a deep breath and decided to just go for it. Worst case scenario, Shurzuan would beat me to death. After all, she was the one who saved my life. I stood at the entrance of Shurzuan's cave dwelling, my palms slick with sweat. My hand, raised a knock, went up and down, up and down. After going back and forth like this over a dozen times, the door suddenly opened from within. What are you doing standing at the door? Shurzuan's voice was cold and clear, sending shivers down my spine. I looked up at her. She wore white robes whiter than snow. Her dark hair cascaded like a waterfall. Her features held a faint aloofness. Beautiful she truly was, and truly cold. Said Shurzuan, this disciple has something to report. Come in and speak. She turned and walked inside. I followed behind her, my mind frantically searching for an excuse. How should I begin? Shurzuan, I want to comb your hair. If I said that, wouldn't she think I'd lost my mind? What is it? Shurzuan sat down at her desk, holding a bamboo scroll in her hand, and asked without looking up. I looked at her dark hair, scattered over her shoulders. Steeling my heart, I walked straight over. Shurzuan, this disciple noticed your hair is a bit messy and would like to help you tidy it. The moment my words fell, the air suddenly fell silent. Shurzuan raised her head, looking at me as if I were an idiot. What did you say? Your disciple wants to help Shurzuan comb her hair. I said it very earnestly, so earnestly that I almost believed it myself. Shurzuan stared at me for 3 seconds, then slowly spoke. Yi Fan, has something gone wrong with your cultivation? No, Shurzuan. Then why do you suddenly want to help me comb my hair? Because your disciple wants to repay Shurzuan for her nurturing grace. I gave myself full marks for this excuse. Shurzuan, however, frowned. I've raised you this long, and you've never had such a thought before. Your disciple was ignorant before, but now understands. Shurzuan was silent for a moment, then stood up. I thought she was going to agree, and a wave of wild joy surged through me. Instead, she walked around me, went to the door, and opened it. Get out. Shurzuan, your master is going into secluded cultivation. You should go back. I still wanted to say something more, but she had already pushed me out the door. The door closed in front of me with a dull thud. Mission failed. Punishment activated. Shurzuan will have bad luck for one day. I stood at the doorway, wanting to cry, but having no tears. It's over. Shurzuan is going to have bad luck, and she'll definitely think I'm a pervert. As it turned out, the system's punishment was truly harsh. That afternoon, I personally saw Shurzuan emerge from her grotto mansion and hit her head on the doorframe. That dull thud could be heard from far away. I hid in a corner, my heart clenching painfully. At dinner, Master was drinking tea in the dining hall and somehow choked. She coughed until her face was red, and the martial uncles beside her were all startled. At dinner, Master was drinking tea in the dining hall and somehow choked. She coughed until her face was red, and the martial uncles beside her were all startled. I watched from a distance, wishing I could rush over and pat her back. But I didn't dare. In her eyes now, I've been upgraded to a pervert. That evening, I heard that Master almost had a chi deviation while cultivating. Apparently, halfway through channeling her energy, she suddenly sneezed and almost went berserk. This news spread throughout the entire Qinyan sect. Everyone was discussing whether Master was having a particularly unlucky day. Only I knew it was all my fault. System, are you a devil? This system is merely enforcing the rules. Your rules are so unscrupulous. Host, this system suggests you complete the mission as soon as possible to prevent Master from continuing to have bad luck. I lay on my bed, staring at the ceiling. I was plunged into deep self-doubt. This system has no code of honor. Early the next morning, the system issued another new mission. Mission: feed Master a spirit fruit. Reward: cultivation level improved. Punishment: Master suffers misfortune for 3 days. I looked at this mission, and my blood pressure immediately shot up. 3 days. Just yesterday, Master almost went berserk. 3 days? Wouldn't she just ascend to heaven on the spot? System, are you trying to kill my master? This system's purpose is to help the host win Master's affection, not to kill Master. Then this punishment of yours. The punishment is merely to urge the host to complete the mission. I took a deep breath, determined to succeed today, not for any other reason than to prevent Master from suffering further misfortune. I went to the spirit fruit orchard and picked the biggest, reddest Zhuyiangua. This type of fruit can enhance beauty and nourish the skin, and it's said that female cultivators are very fond of it. Although Master is already beautiful enough, who would ever object to becoming even more beautiful? Carrying the fruit, I came to Master's cave, dwelling once more. This time I didn't hesitate, knocking directly on the door. Come in. Master's voice came from within, sounding a little tired. I pushed the door open and entered, seeing her sitting at her desk, rubbing her temples. There was also a faint bruise on her forehead. It must have been from hitting the door yesterday. A wave of guilt washed over me, and I almost knelt down on the spot to admit my fault. What is it? Master raised her head. Seeing it was me, her brows furrowed slightly. That little freak is back. Master, your disciple has brought you a Zhuyiangua. I respectfully presented the fruit with both hands. My demeanor was impeccably respectful. Master looked at the fruit, then at me. Her eyes were full of wariness. What are you trying to do now? Your disciple doesn't want to do anything, just to show my filial respect to Master. I have no need for it. Master, this fruit is very sweet. Please have a taste. I offered the fruit a little closer, but Master recoiled slightly, as if avoiding something dangerous. My heart shattered. Yi Fan, tell your master honestly, are you harboring some ulterior motive? This disciple has no ulterior motives. Then why are you suddenly so attentive to your master? Because this disciple suddenly had an epiphany. My master stared at me for a long while, her eyes full of suspicion. Her gaze made goosebumps break out all over me. But I still stood there, biting the bullet. This disciple was ignorant before and didn't know how to be grateful. Now I've come to understand. Master has bestowed upon me the grace of a second life, and I should repay her properly. This vermilion beauty fruit is a small token of my appreciation. Please, Master, you must accept it. I spoke with such sincere emotion that I almost moved myself. My master was silent for a moment, then finally reached out and took the fruit. All right, your master has accepted it. You may go now. Master, aren't you going to eat it? Your master will eat it later. This disciple wishes to watch Master eat it. The words were barely out of my mouth when I regretted them. No matter how you listened, it sounded like something a pervert would say. Sure enough, Master's gaze changed again. From caution, it escalated to high alert. Yi Fan, what exactly are you trying to do? This disciple just wants to make sure Master has eaten it. I have no other intentions. I was so frantic I broke out in a cold sweat, wishing I could slap myself twice. My master looked at my flustered state and suddenly sighed. Fine. She picked up the fruit and took a bite. Satisfied now. Satisfied, completely satisfied. I was so excited I almost jumped for joy. The mission is complete. Master won't suffer any misfortune now. Ding! Task complete. Reward issued. I felt a warm current flow into my dantian. My cultivation had actually increased. This system, though immoral, offered truly tempting rewards. Is there anything else? Master's voice pulled me back to reality. I quickly shook my head, bowed, and excused myself. Nothing else, Master. Your disciple takes leave. I turned and ran, afraid that staying another second would expose me. From behind me, Master's voice came, tinged with a hint of confusion. This child, why have they been so strange lately? Over the next few days, the system's tasks grew increasingly absurd. Task: drape a cloak over Master. Task: pour tea for Master. Task: grind ink for Master. These tasks, viewed individually, weren't difficult. But the problem was, I had to find all sorts of excuses to approach Master. And Master's gaze towards me had already escalated from pervert to pervert requiring special observation. That evening, I squatted in the bushes outside Master's cave dwelling, waiting for her to emerge. The system said today's task was to drape a cloak over Master, with a deadline before sunset. I clutched a fox fur coat in my hand, so nervous my palms were sweating profusely. Ding! Reminder to host. Task time limit remaining. Half a shirchin. Why isn't Master coming out yet? Is she not leaving today? Should I make a night raid? If the task failed, she would be unlucky for 3 more days. Just then, the door of the cave dwelling opened. Master walked out. She was dressed in a thin white robe, gently fluttering in the evening breeze. My eyes lit up, and I immediately jumped out from the bushes. Master! Master was startled by me, unconsciously taking a step back. After seeing clearly it was me, her expression became very complex. Yifan, what are you doing hiding in the bushes? Disciple. Disciple is cultivating. Cultivating? Yes, disciple is cultivating a technique to conceal my presence. I give myself a failing grade for that excuse. Master obviously didn't believe it either, but she didn't press the matter, merely saying indifferently, your master, I'm going to the scripture depository. You should go back. She turned to leave, and I quickly chased after her. Master, the wind is strong tonight. You're wearing too little. Your master, am a nascent soul stage cultivator. I am not afraid of the cold. But this disciple fears Master will be cold. As I spoke, I draped a fox fur cloak over her shoulders. My movements were so quick that even I was surprised. Master froze, looking down at the fox fur cloak on her shoulders, then up at me. This disciple specifically prepared it for Master. Master, please accept it. I said this with righteous confidence. Master was silent for a moment, then wrapped the fox fur cloak a little tighter around herself. Thank you. Master actually didn't refuse. She even said, thank you. Ding, mission complete, reward issued. The system's notification rang in my mind, but I could no longer care. My mind was completely filled with how Master had just looked. Wrapped in fox fur, her head slightly bowed, her voice was soft. At that moment, she didn't seem like a high and mighty nascent soul stage master. She seemed like an ordinary woman, a woman who could feel the cold, and would say, thank you. What are you still standing there dazed for? Master's voice pulled me back to reality. She had already walked several steps away and was looking back at me. I'll take you to the scripture pavilion to choose a cultivation technique. Keep up. I was stunned for a moment, then ecstatic. Master is letting me follow her. Coming. I jogged to catch up, feeling absolutely delighted. Although I didn't know why Master's attitude towards me had suddenly improved, that wasn't important. What was important was that I seemed to have gotten a little closer to her. The good times didn't last long. The system began to act up. New mission released. Obtain Master's lap pillow. Reward. Break through to the foundation establishment stage. Punishment. Master will suffer misfortune for 7 days. I looked at this mission, and my entire being felt terrible. Lap pillow. Make Master give me a lap pillow? Isn't this just asking for death? System, are you crazy? This system is operating normally. Then tell me, how could I possibly make Master give me a lap pillow? The host can try acting pitiful. Acting pitiful. According to this system's analysis, Master has a certain degree of favorable impression towards the host, and appropriately showing weakness can stimulate her protective instincts. I fell into deep thought. Play for pity. Will this move work? Shurzuan is so smart. Will she be fooled by me? Mission deadline. 3 days. 3 days. I need to think carefully about how to go about it. On the first day, I tried the excuse of getting injured during cultivation. I deliberately injured myself while practicing. I ran to Shurzuan, crying about my plight. Shurzuan, your disciple is injured. Shurzuan looked at my wound and tossed me a bottle of healing pills. Go back and apply it. You'll be fine in 3 days. Then she chased me out. The plan failed. On the second day, I tried the excuse of a splitting headache. I appeared before Shurzuan, clutching my head with a pained expression. Shurzuan, your disciple's head hurts so much, it hurts terribly. Shurzuan frowned and reached out to check my forehead. No fever, but your disciple really is in pain. It might be overcultivation. Go back and rest, you'll be fine. Then she chased me out again. The plan failed again. On the third day, I decided to go all out. I ate 3 packets of missing teeth, causing myself to suffer from an unceasing high fever. This time I was genuinely sick, not pretending. When Shurzuan saw my state, her expression finally changed. What's going on? Shurzuan walked over and reached out to check my forehead. The fever is so bad. There was a hint of worry in her voice. I groggily opened my eyes. Her face was right before me. Master, don't speak. I'll heal your injuries. She helped me up and let me lean against her. Spiritual energy poured from her palm into my body. Warm and gentle. I felt like I was soaking in a hot spring. My whole body relaxed. Master, your disciple's head is so dizzy. Bear with it a little longer. It'll be over soon. I closed my eyes, and my head unconsciously slid downwards. By the time I realized what was happening, my head was already resting on Master's lap. The air suddenly went quiet. I felt Master's body stiffen slightly, but she didn't push me away. Never mind. Just lie there for now. Her voice held a hint of resignation, but she wasn't angry. A wave of wild joy surged through me, but outwardly I still looked weak. Thank you, Master. I closed my eyes, feeling the softness and warmth of her lap. Her hand gently rested on my forehead, occasionally checking my temperature. It felt like being cradled in the palm of a hand. Ding! Task complete. Reward issued. I felt a surge of power flow into my dantian. Foundation establishment. I actually reached foundation establishment, but at this moment, I no longer cared about my cultivation. My mind was completely filled with Master's lap pillow. Soft, warm, and carrying a faint fragrance. I could lie there forever. Are you feeling better? Master's voice came from above my head, tinged with concern. I opened my eyes and saw her looking down at me. Against the light, her silhouette was as soft as a painting. Much better. Thank you, Master. Then get up. Master, disciple is still a bit dizzy. Master was silent for a moment, then sighed. Lie there for a bit longer. I almost burst out laughing, but managed to hold it in. Ever since that lap pillow incident, Master's attitude toward me had significantly improved. She no longer saw me as a pervert. Instead, she treated me like a child who needed looking after. Although this new role was a bit awkward, it was still better than being seen as a pervert. The system's tasks were also continuing. Task: hold Master's hand for 10 breaths. Task: adorn Master's hair with a flower. Task: maintain eye contact with Master for 30 breaths. These tasks were becoming increasingly intimate, but I had already figured out the trick. As long as I found the right excuse, Master was actually quite amenable. She was outwardly cold, but inwardly very soft. As long as you treat her well, she'll remember it in her heart. That day, I picked a white magnolia on the mountain and, while Sherzuan wasn't looking, tucked it into her hair bun. Yi Fan, what are you doing now? Sherzuan turned her head, her brows slightly furrowed. Your disciple thinks this flower suits Sherzuan very well, so I wanted Sherzuan to wear it. I'm not a little girl. Why would I wear flowers? Sherzuan, in your disciple's heart, you will always be the most beautiful. As soon as these words left my mouth, I myself was stunned. Would Sherzuan think I was flirting with her? Sure enough, Sherzuan's expression changed. She stared at me for a good while. Her gaze was so complex it was hard to understand. Yi Fan, your disciple is speaking the truth. I bit the bullet and retorted. Since it was already out, I might as well go all the way. In your disciple's heart, Sherzuan has always been the most beautiful. Whether in the past or now, your disciple's admiration for Sherzuan is like an endless, surging river. After Sherzuan listened, her lips actually curved upward slightly. You're getting quite good with your words. Your disciple is speaking from the heart. All right, I know. As long as you treat her well, she'll remember it in her heart. That day, I picked a white magnolia on the mountain and, while Sherzuan wasn't looking, tucked it into her hair bun. Yi Fan, what are you doing now? Sherzuan turned her head, her brows slightly furrowed. Your disciple thinks this flower suits Sherzuan very well, so I wanted Sherzuan to wear it. I'm not a little girl. Why would I wear flowers? Sherzuan, in your disciple's heart, you will always be the most beautiful. As soon as these words left my mouth, I myself was stunned. Would Sherzuan think I was flirting with her? Sure enough, Sherzuan's expression changed. She stared at me for a good while. Her gaze was so complex it was hard to understand. Yi Fan, your disciple is speaking the truth. I bit the bullet and retorted. Since it was already out, I might as well go all the way. In your disciple's heart, Sherzuan has always been the most beautiful. Whether in the past or now, your disciple's admiration for Sherzuan is like an endless, surging river. After Sherzuan listened, her lips actually curved upward slightly. You're getting quite good with your words. Your disciple is speaking from the heart. All right, I know. She turned away, but didn't take off the flower. I watched her back, feeling utterly delighted. Ding! Mission complete. Reward distributed. It was another success. I feel like I'm getting better and better at flirting with Sherzuan. No, wait. I'm getting better and better at showing filial respect to Sherzuan. Good times didn't last long. Trouble soon arrived. Rumors about my relationship with Master began circulating in the sect. Have you heard? That kid Yi Fan runs to Master Lu's cave dwelling every day. Yeah, I even saw him drape a cloak over Master Lu. Aren't those two, Master and disciple, a bit too intimate? Keep your voice down. It'll be bad if Master Lu hears us. These words reached my ears, but I didn't care. But when they reached Master's ears, things were different. That day, Master called me to her cave dwelling. Yi Fan, have you heard the recent rumors in the sect? This disciple has. What do you think? I looked into Master's eyes and said seriously, this disciple doesn't care. You don't care? This disciple only cares about Master's thoughts. Master fell silent. Her expression was complicated, as if she was thinking about something. Yi Fan, your master, ask you, what are your true feelings for your master? After all, I had long thought about the answer to this question, but when I was actually asked it, I was still so nervous my heart pounded. What this disciple feels for Master is respect. Only respect and gratitude. And what else? Master pressed on, and I had nowhere left to retreat. Forget it. I'll just go for it. And I like you. As soon as the words left my mouth, the air seemed to freeze. Master stared at me, her eyes filled with shock, confusion, and something I couldn't understand. What did you say? Your disciple likes Master. I took a deep breath and continued. Your disciple knows this is out of line. Your disciple knows Master might be angry, but your disciple doesn't want to lie to Master, nor to myself. Your disciple's feelings for Master have long since surpassed mere master-disciple affection. After I finished speaking, I lowered my head, not daring to look into Master's eyes. It's over. It's completely over now. Master will definitely expel me from his sect. Yi Fan. Master's voice rang out, much softer than usual. I steeled myself and looked up, preparing for the storm. However, what I saw were Master's slightly flushed ear tips. You should go back for now. Master. This Master wants him quiet. She turned away, her back to me. I couldn't see her expression, but I could feel that she wasn't angry. At least, not as angry as I'd imagined. She even had the heart to think about someone named Jingjing. Your disciple takes his leave. I bowed and retreated from the cave dwelling, my heart, however, filled with wild joy. Master didn't scold me. Master didn't hit me. Master didn't even say she would expel me from the sect. Does this mean I still have a chance? Ding! Detected Master's favorability increased. Current favorability, 65%. The system's notification sound rang in my mind. I almost took off on the spot. 65%. This is already beyond the passing line. After my confession, I deliberately kept my distance. For the next few days, I was exceptionally respectful towards Master in public, bowing upon meeting and speaking with proper etiquette. There wasn't a single untoward action. When the other disciples saw this, they all thought I had finally returned to normal. Junior brother Yi, why haven't you been visiting Martial Uncle Liu lately? Senior brother, you jest. I merely felt I had disturbed Master too much before. Oh, I thought you two were. Senior brother, a master and disciple should maintain a proper distance. I said this with a straight face, and senior brother nodded repeatedly. But I knew clearly in my heart this was merely a facade. Privately, I would still look for opportunities to approach Master. However, the methods became more discreet. For instance, I would accidentally run into her in places Master frequented. For instance, I would secretly send Master things she liked. For instance, I would display my cultivation progress in places where she could see it. This tactic proved effective. Master began to seek me out proactively. Yi Fan, why haven't you been coming to see me lately? That day, Master suddenly appeared at my residence, which startled me. Master, why are you here? I came to check on you. Disciple. Disciple is deeply honored. I quickly rose and bowed. Master said she wanted peace and quiet, but her body, however, was quite honest. How has your cultivation been lately? Thanks to Master's blessings, your disciple has already reached the mid-stage of foundation establishment. You made quick progress. It's all due to Master's skillful guidance. Master nodded, her gaze sweeping over me. Yi Fan, are you avoiding your Master? Your disciple wouldn't dare. Then why haven't you come to see your Master? I raised my head, looking directly into Master's eyes. Your disciple feared Master would be troubled. What do you mean? Your disciple has heard all the rumors within the sect. I don't want to cause Master any trouble. Master's expression changed. So you're avoiding your Master? Your disciple merely wanted to protect Master's reputation. My reputation doesn't need you to protect it. Her tone was somewhat stiff, but I could sense the underlying awkwardness. My heart stirred, and I decided to add fuel to the fire. Master, your disciple knows his status is not worthy of you. Your disciple is merely a small foundation establishment cultivator, while Master is a mighty nascent soul grand cultivator. Your disciple's feelings for Master might just be unrequited. Therefore, your disciple has decided that from now on, I will only be Master's disciple and harbor no more improper thoughts. I spoke with heartfelt sincerity. After listening, Master's expression became very strange, as if angry, yet also anxious. Yi Fan, you... Master needn't say more. Your disciple understands. I lowered my head, feigning an air of resignation. But inside, I was frantically calculating Master's reaction. 3, 2, 1. Who said you aren't worthy of your Master? Shizuan's voice suddenly grew several decibels louder. It startled me. I looked up and saw her face was a bit red, with annoyance in her eyes. Shirzuen, what your master means is, one's cultivation level doesn't determine everything. Although you are currently only at the foundation establishment stage, your aptitude is good. In the future, you might very well be able to. She stopped mid-sentence, realizing she had said something she shouldn't have. Anyway, don't overthink things. You still need to come to me whenever you're supposed to. Your master is used to it. She said the last sentence very softly. So softly, it was like she was talking to herself. But I heard it clearly. Shirzuen said she was used to it. Used to my presence. Used to my company. Ding. Shirzuen's favorability detected to have increased. Current favorability, 75%. As the art of war says, retreat is a way to advance. Your disciple obeys. I respectfully bowed, but I couldn't suppress the curve of my lips. Shirzuen saw my expression and her brows furrowed. What are you smiling at? Your disciple isn't smiling. You clearly are smiling. Your disciple is just too happy. Shirzuen snorted and turned to leave, but I clearly saw her ears were red again. Things were starting to get strange. I noticed. Every time I treated Master well, her cultivation would increase. At first, I thought it was a coincidence, but as it happened more often, I couldn't help but suspect. That day, I brought Master a box of her favorite osmanthus cakes. After she finished eating them, her cultivation actually broke through a minor bottleneck. Isn't that just too absurd? I asked the system what was going on. The system said it didn't know either. Damn it, you useless system. The next morning, I went to Master's cave dwelling as usual to pay my respects. But Master didn't let me in. Yifan, I, your master, am going into seclusion today. You should go back. Master, didn't you just go into seclusion yesterday? I, your master, want to go into seclusion again. But, no buts. Go back. The door closed in front of me, and I froze in place. What's wrong with Master? Why is she suddenly so cold towards me? For the next few days, Master kept avoiding me. When I went to look for her, she said she was in seclusion. When I brought her things, she had people return them. When I waited for her in places she often frequented, she simply didn't come out. System, has Master's favorability decreased? Current favorability, 75%. No change has occurred. Then why is she avoiding me? This system is unable to analyze Master's psychological activities. What in the world is wrong with Master? Did I do something wrong? Or did she discover something? I decided to go gather some information. Martial Ant, do you know what's been going on with Master Liu recently? I found my master's junior sister, Martial Ant Suwaner. She was the sect's famous gossip expert. No news could be hidden from her. Yifan, are you asking about your master? Yes, Master seems to be avoiding me recently. Avoiding you? Suwaner's eyes lit up. She leaned closer and lowered her voice. Let me tell you, your master has been really strange lately. How strange? She locks herself in her cave abode every day, not cultivating, just sitting there in a daze. In a daze. My heart sank. Could Master have discovered something? Martial Ant, has Master encountered anything recently? That I don't know, but Suwaner looked at me mysteriously. I heard that your master's cultivation has been increasing exceptionally fast recently. How fast? So fast that even the sect leader was alarmed. I gasped. Oh no, is Master suspecting that her rapid cultivation increase is related to my recent abnormal behavior? Thank you, Martial Ant. This disciple takes his leave. I turned and ran, my mind a tangled mess. Master must have discovered something, which is why she's avoiding me. She must be thinking whether my kindness towards her has an ulterior motive. She must be suspecting that I am using her. No, I have to go explain myself clearly. Even if she doesn't believe me, I have to try. I stood outside Shirzuen's cave dwelling for a day and a night. If she wouldn't open the door, I wouldn't leave. Shirzuen, please open the door. This disciple has something to say. Shirzuen, this disciple knows you're inside. Please listen to this disciple's explanation. Shirzuen, my devotion to you, heaven and earth can bear witness. I called countless times until my throat was hoarse, but Shirzuen just wouldn't open the door. Even if she doesn't believe me, I have to try. I stood outside Shizun's cave dwelling for a day and a night. If she wouldn't open the door, I wouldn't leave. Shizun, please open the door. This disciple has something to say. Shizun, this disciple knows you're inside. Please listen to this disciple's explanation. Shizun, my devotion to you. Heaven and earth can bear witness. I called countless times until my throat was hoarse. But Shizun just wouldn't open the door. The next day, it started to rain. I stood in the rain, completely drenched. But I still refused to leave. Junior brother Yi, stop standing there. Uncle Master Liu won't open the door. A senior brother from the neighboring peak advised me. But I shook my head. I must wait for Shizun to open the door. You'll get sick if you keep this up. I'm not afraid. The senior brother from the neighboring peak sighed, shook his head, and left. I continued to stand in the rain, my eyes fixed unblinkingly on that door. By the third day, I finally couldn't hold on any longer. My head ached, and my body felt weak. My cultivation was too low, and I'd caught a cold. I collapsed at the entrance of Shizun's cave dwelling, my consciousness slowly blurring. The last thing I saw was that tightly shut door. Shizun. I murmured her name, then completely lost consciousness. When I woke up again, I found myself lying on a soft bed. A thick quilt covered my body. A cool cloth was on my forehead. Someone next to me was holding my hand, warm and firm. I struggled to open my eyes and saw a familiar face. It was Master. She sat by the bed, her brows tightly furrowed, her eyes full of worry. Master. My voice was incredibly hoarse. Master heard me speak, and her eyes lit up. You're awake? Disciple. Disciple, where am I? In my cave dwelling. Master's voice was a little choked, as if she had been holding it in for a long time. You fool, you stood in the rain for 3 days. Are you trying to die? Disciple. Disciple wanted to see Master. See me for what? Do you know you almost died? Master's voice rose, but I could hear the heartache in it. I wanted to smile, but just as my lips curled up, I was interrupted by a violent coughing fit. Don't talk anymore. Drink your medicine first. Master picked up the medicine bowl from the bedside and fed me spoonful by spoonful. The medicine was very bitter, but I felt it was very sweet. Because Master was feeding me. Master, Disciple has something to say. Wait until you're better to say it. No, Disciple must say it now. I struggled, trying to sit up, but my whole body was weak, and I couldn't move at all. Master pressed on my shoulders, pushing me back onto the bed. Say it lying down. Master, my feelings for you are genuine. I know you might have discovered something, but I want to tell you, regardless of whether those things exist or not, I still like you. Those things? What are you talking about? The Master's eyes changed. I took a deep breath, deciding to confess. I'm bound to a system. A system? Yes. The system gives me tasks, making me be good to you, Master. Completing tasks brings rewards, while failing brings punishment. I told the Master everything about the system in full detail, including the first failed task, which resulted in her having a day of bad luck, including later instances like feeding her spirit fruits, draping a cloak over her, and being a lap pillow, including my feelings for her. I like your gentleness, Master. I like your innocence, and I like how good you are to me. Even without the system, I would still want to be good to you, Master. Master, do you believe me? I looked into the Master's eyes, waiting for her answer. She was silent for a long time, so long that I thought she wouldn't answer. Then she spoke. Yi Fan, I, your Master, also have something to tell you. What is it? I, your Master, am also bound to a system. I froze. The Master is also bound to a system? What kind of system? A very strange system. The Master's face was a little red, and her voice became very soft. I was utterly stunned. So the Master had a system too. Shizun, when did you find out? Just recently. I noticed that every time you were kind to me, my cultivation would improve. At first, I thought it was a coincidence, but then I started to suspect. So you were avoiding me to verify it? Yes. Shizun lowered her head, her voice growing softer. Those days I was avoiding you. My cultivation didn't increase at all. I knew then that it must be related to you. I don't know how to face you. Looking at Shurzuen, my heart felt both bittersweet. So she wasn't annoyed with me, but didn't know how to face me. So she was also struggling, also confused. Shurzuen, I don't care about any system or no system. I only know that I like Shurzuen. Whether there's a system or not, I still like Shurzuen. I reached out and took Shurzwen's hand. Her hand trembled slightly, but she didn't pull it back. Shurzuen, what about you? What? How do you feel about me? Shurzuen fell silent. She kept her head down, her expression unclear. My heart pounded in my chest, terribly nervous. I don't know either. She lifted her head, her eyes filled with confusion and bewilderment. I only know that when you were avoiding me, I felt very strange. When you stood in the rain, your master, felt such heartache. When you fell, your master, was very afraid. What this is, your master, don't know either. Listening to master's words, a sweet feeling bloomed in my heart. She said she wasn't used to it. She said her heart ached. She said she was afraid. Isn't this love? Master, this is love. Is it? Yes. I squeezed her hand tightly and said seriously, Master, this disciple will wait for you. Until you've thought it through, until you are willing to accept this disciple. No matter how long it takes, this disciple will wait. Master looked at me, her eyes slightly reddened. She parted her lips, wanted to say something, but in the end, she only sighed. Just focus on getting better for now. We could talk about the rest later. Okay. I obediently closed my eyes, but the corners of my mouth couldn't help but turn up. Master hadn't rejected me. This was the best answer. After my recovery, the relationship between Master and me became subtly nuanced. She no longer avoided me, but she also hadn't explicitly accepted me. It was as if a thin sheet of paper separated us, and neither of us dared to pierce it. The system's tasks were still ongoing. Task: interlock fingers with Master for 15 minutes. Task: embrace Master from behind for 30 breaths. Task: kiss Master's forehead. These tasks were getting increasingly intimate, and I was completing them more and more smoothly. Although Master would blush every time, she never refused. The distance between us was closing little by little. Until that day, the system issued a task that made my heart stop. Issue ultimate task: get Master to actively kiss you. Reward: system upgrade. Unlock all functions. Punishment: system disappears. All previous rewards cleared. Looking at this task, I felt utterly bewildered. Get Master to actively kiss me? How could that be possible? Although Master's attitude towards me had improved greatly, how could she take the initiative for something like a kiss? System, are you trying to make things difficult for me? This system is merely executing the rules. I sank into deep despair. Master was so reserved, so aloof. How could she possibly kiss me of her own accord? Unless she truly liked me so much she couldn't help herself. But was that even possible? I agonized for several days, finally making a decision. To abandon the task. That's right, I decided to abandon it. Not because I didn't want to complete it, but because I didn't want to force Master. If she wasn't willing, I wouldn't insist. Even if I lost the system, lost all rewards, I still wouldn't want to put her in a difficult position. System, I'm giving up on this task. Are you sure you want to give up? After giving up, the system will disappear and all rewards will be reset. I'm sure. Please confirm again, host. I am sure. During the prolonged wait for the system to disappear, I made a trip to Master's cave dwelling. Master, your disciple has brought you some pastries. I pushed the door open and entered, seeing Master standing by the window, lost in thought. She was dressed in a pale violet gown. Her long hair cascaded over her shoulders, beautiful as a painting. Master? I called out, and she snapped out her daze, standing up. Unsure what she had stepped on, her body suddenly lost balance, and she fell forward. I instinctively rushed forward, reaching out to catch her. Master, are you all right? I held her by the shoulders, looking down at her. She raised her head, looking at me. Our gazes locked, our breaths intertwined. We were too close. So close I could clearly see the curve of her eyelashes. So close I could feel her breath. So close. A voice rang out in my mind, but I was beyond caring, because in that very instant, Master's lips touched mine. Was it an accident? But that soft sensation made my entire body freeze. Time seemed to stand still. I didn't dare move, and neither did she. We just held that position. Neither of us pulled away first. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Ding! Ultimate mission complete. Reward issued. Ding! System detected two-way binding successful. The system's prompt rang in my mind, but I couldn't hear it all anymore. All I could think about were Shurzuan's lips. Soft, sweet, with a faint osmanthus scent. Yi Fan. Shurzuan's voice pulled me back to reality. Her face was as red as a ripe apple. Her gaze darted away, not daring to look at me. This was an accident. Disciple knows. This master didn't mean to. Disciple knows. Don't misunderstand. Disciple hasn't misunderstood. Watching her flustered state, I couldn't help but smile. So, even the usually aloof Shurzuan has such an adorable side. Shurzuan, Disciple has something to tell you. What is it? The system just told Disciple that two-way binding was successful. Two-way binding? Yes, it means Disciple's system and Shurzuan's system are bound together. Shurzuan froze, her eyes full of confusion. What does that mean? I'm not too sure either. I closed my eyes and checked the system's prompt. I saw a message that shocked me. This system is not an external entity. Instead, it is a form naturally condensed under the rules of the heavenly Tao, born from the deepest love between the host and the master. The host's love for the master transformed into the sweet pampering master system. The master's love for the host transformed into the get stronger when pampered by disciple system. The successful two-way binding signifies that the love between the two of you has perfectly aligned. Congratulations, host. You have won the beauty. I opened my eyes and looked at Master. She was looking at me too. In her eyes there was shock, confusion, and a hint of shyness. Master, did you see that? I did. So what? Master's voice was a little shaky, as if she was expecting something. I took a deep breath and took her hand. So, Master, you've actually always liked me, haven't you? The system said your system was formed from your love for me. If you didn't like me, that system wouldn't exist. Master, admit it. Master's face turned even redder, so red it looked like blood might drip from it. She tried to pull her hand away, but I held it tightly, not letting her escape. Yi Fan, don't push your luck. I'm not pushing my luck. I just want to hear Master say it herself. Say what? Say you like me. Master glared at me, but there was no intimidation in her gaze. Instead, it was more like she was pouting playfully. Your master. I won't say. Then this disciple will just keep asking. You. Master, do you like this disciple? Master Li, I like you. Master suddenly shouted, startling me. Her face was flushed beyond belief, tears glistening in her eyes. Your master, like you, all right? Your master, have liked you since a very long time ago. She couldn't go on, lowering her head, her shoulders trembling slightly. Watching her, my heart felt both bittersweet. Master, I gently lifted her chin, making her look at me. Her eyes were red, like a little rabbit that had been wronged. This disciple likes Master too. I've liked you since a very long time ago. From the day Master saved this disciple, I fell in love with Master. I leaned down and gently pressed a kiss on her lips. Master, from now on, this disciple will always be good to you. It's not because of the system. It's because this disciple loves you. Master looked at me, tears finally streaming down, but the corners of her mouth were upturned. Yi Fan. You heartless little thing. Your master, have waited 10 years for you to say those words. I paused for a moment, then smiled. That disciple would talk about it every day from then on, until Master got tired of hearing it. Who wants to listen to you talk about it every day? Doesn't Master want to hear it? I do. That last word. She said it very softly, but I heard it clearly. I smiled and pulled her into my arms, hugging her tightly. From that day on, Master and I confirmed our relationship. She was no longer the high and mighty nascent soul stage grandmaster. More like a little pampered wife. She no longer maintained her cold and aloof facade. She began to reveal her true self. That side of her was even cuter than I had imagined. Yi Fan, give that pastry to Master. Master, this is mine. Master wants to eat it, but I want to eat it too. Do you want to eat the pastry, or do you want a beating? I looked at Master's mock fierce expression and obediently handed over the pastry. She took the pastry, smiled triumphantly, and took a bite. So delicious. As long as Master likes it. Make more next time. Understood. Watching her eat the pastry, my heart was filled with sweetness. Who would have thought that Liu Ruyan, once as cold as ice, would now be fighting me for a pastry? What are you looking at? Master noticed me staring at her, and her face flushed slightly. Not looking at anything, just thinking how beautiful Master is. What a smooth talker. I'm telling the truth. Oomph. She turned her head away, but I clearly saw the corners of her mouth curving into a smile. I leaned closer and kissed her lips. Master, I like you. Not again. I said I'd say it every day. Who said you had to say it every day? Master herself said she wanted to hear it. When did I ever say that? That night, Master said, "Shut up." Master covered my mouth, her face as red as a ripe tomato. I smiled and kissed the palm of her hand. She instantly withdrew her hand as if scalded. Yi Fan, you're getting more and more presumptuous. I've always been like this with Master. You wouldn't have dared before. Before, I didn't know Master liked me. Master shot me a look, but her gaze was filled with doting affection. I seized the chance and leaned in again, wanting another kiss. Instead, she slapped me away. Stop messing around. I need to cultivate now. I'll cultivate with Master. No, you go cultivate on your own. But I want to be with Master. Clinging to me every day. What kind of behavior is that? Like Master's Tao companion. Master froze for a moment. Then her face grew even redder. Who? Who is your Tao companion? Isn't it Master? I haven't agreed. Then I'm asking now, Master, are you willing to be my Tao companion? I looked at her earnestly, my eyes full of expectation. Master seemed a little uncomfortable under my gaze, lowering her head, her voice as faint as a mosquito's buzz. I am. I didn't quite hear that. Master, could you say it again? I said I'm willing. She raised her voice, then realizing she'd shouted too loudly, covered her face in embarrassment. After our relationship was confirmed, I noticed the system hadn't disappeared. Instead, it had unlocked more features. Ding, congratulations. Host, system upgrade complete. New function unlocked. Sweet tasks. Complete tasks to receive double rewards, benefiting both host and master. My eyes lit up as I looked at the prompt. Double rewards? Isn't this just a freebie? Master, the system has upgraded. Upgraded? Yes, now there are duo tasks. If we complete them, both of us will get rewards. After Master heard this, her expression turned a little strange. What kind of tasks? Let me see. I opened the task list, then froze. Task 1. Walk hand in hand with your Tao companion for 15 minutes. Reward. Both parties' cultivation each advance by a small stage. Task 2. Dine together with your Tao companion. Reward. Obtain 1 soul transformation pill. Task 3. Feed spiritual fruits to each other with your Tao companion. Reward. Obtain 1 top-grade cultivation technique. These tasks. What's wrong? What kind of tasks? Master leaned in to look, and I quickly showed her the task list. After she finished reading, her face turned red again. These? What kind of tasks are these? The system assigned them. Your disciple didn't make them up. I know you didn't make them up, but this is too. Too what? Too embarrassing. Seeing Master's shy expression, I couldn't help but laugh. Master, what's so embarrassing about this? We're Tao companions now. Isn't it normal to do these things? That's true, but what? But I'm not used to it. She lowered her head, her voice growing softer and softer. My heart softened, and I took her hand. Then let's get used to it slowly, okay? Okay. From that day on, Master and I began living uninhibited days. Every day was about dating and casually completing system tasks. In the mornings, we'd walk with fingers intertwined in the spirit fruit orchard. At noon, we'd eat together, feeding each other dishes. In the evenings, we'd sit side by side on the rooftop, watching the stars and chatting about anything and everything. Fan, how many stars do you think there are in the sky? Your disciple doesn't know, but your disciple knows that Master's eyes are brighter than the stars. Always smooth talking. Your disciple is speaking the truth. Master glared at me, but the smile at the corner of her lips couldn't be hidden. I took the opportunity to put my arm around her shoulder and pull her a little closer. Master, your disciple has a question for you. What is it? Why did you take me as your disciple back then? The master paused for a moment, then fell into recollection. You were still young then, being hunted, and you were lying by the roadside covered in wounds. I was passing by and saw you were pitiful, so I saved you. Later, I discovered you had good aptitude, so I took you as my disciple. Just like that. Just like that. Master, you didn't take me in because your disciple was good-looking, did you? My master was amused. She reached out and tapped my head. You were only 8 years old then, and all grubby. How could you be good-looking? Then when did Master think your disciple was good-looking? The master fell silent, her face subtly flushing. I leaned closer and pressed her. Master, tell me. Not telling. Master. When you were 15. Her voice was very soft, but I heard it clearly. 15? That was 10 years ago. In other words, Master has liked me for 10 years already? Master, you've liked your disciple for this long? Who said I liked you? I merely said you started to become good-looking around then. Isn't being good-looking the same as liking someone? No. Then what is it? It's appreciation. Yes, appreciation. I watched Sherzuan make her excuses, laughing even harder. All right, admire then. Sherzuan admires her disciple. It always was that way. Then does Sherzuan still admire your disciple now? Not anymore. Why? Because you're too annoying. As she spoke, she pushed me away and stood up, about to leave. I quickly grabbed her hand. Sherzuan, don't go, your disciple was wrong. What were you wrong about? Your disciple shouldn't have pestered Sherzuan. And what else? Your disciple shouldn't have teased Sherzuan. And what else? Your disciple shouldn't have grown so good-looking, making Sherzuan admire me for 10 years. Ye fan. Sherzuan stamped her foot in anger and chased after me, trying to hit me. I laughed and dodged, running back and forth on the rooftop. Sherzuan, your disciple is telling the truth. You stop for your master right now. I'll stop then. Is Sherzuan going to hit your disciple? Your master is going to beat you to death. I stopped, spreading my arms wide. Come on, Sherzuan, your disciple is at your mercy. Sherzuan rushed in front of me. She raised her hand, but hesitated to bring it down. She looked at my smiling face, so angry her teeth hitched. How can you be so shameless? Towards Sherzuan, your disciple has always been shameless. She lowered her hand and glared at me fiercely. Forget it. I'm too lazy to argue with you. Master is truly magnanimous. Stop flattering me. Your disciple speaks from the heart. I took her hand and pulled her into my embrace. Master, your disciple is truly happy. Happy about what? Happy that Master has liked your disciple for so long. Who said I liked you? Master's system did. Master was speechless. She could only lean against me, no longer speaking. I looked down at her, noticing her ears were red again. Master, your ears are red. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Your disciple saw it with his own eyes. That's just the wind. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Master's excuse was just too lame. All right. It was the wind, all the wind. It was too... Then your disciple will shield Master from the wind. As I spoke, I pulled her even closer. She struggled for a moment, couldn't break free, and then gave up. Ye fan. When did you get so good at flirting? Your disciple always has been. You wouldn't have dared before. Before, this disciple didn't know Master liked this disciple. Now that I know, this disciple must, of course, flirt without restraint. You little scamp. There was a smile in her voice, not a hint of blame whatsoever. I lowered my head and kissed her lips. Master, this disciple loves you. This Master knows. Does Master love this disciple too? Love?